English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the English Leap Podcast, where we learn English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake.
Today we're talking about family.
A simple topic, but also not simple at all.
Exactly. Family can feel warm, funny, complicated, and emotional, sometimes all in the same conversation.
And today's episode is your cozy English practice. One real conversation, a few useful words, and one speaking moment at the end.
Yes, in that speaking moment, I'll talk to you, your lines will appear on the screen, and you'll say them out loud, like you're really having a conversation with me.
So don't just listen today.
Listen, learn, and get ready to use your voice.
All right, Anna, before we go deep into family, how are you today?
I'm good. A little quiet today, but good. What about you?
I'm good too, mostly.
Mostly?
Yeah, I feel a little guilty today.
Oh, what happened?
My sister sent me a voice note this morning. She said, "Wow, Jake, you still remember you have a family?"
Oof. That sounds like a joke with a little pain inside.
That's exactly what it was. I laughed, and then I sat with it for a while, because maybe she has a point.
You haven't called in a while?
Not properly. I send messages, but calling is different, and life gets busy, and then you look up and many days have passed.
That happens to so many people. We love someone, but the days just go by, and we don't show it the way we want to.
Yes, I think about my family, I just don't always reach out.
I've been there too. Last month, my aunt called me twice. I saw her name on the screen both times, and I kept thinking, I'll call her when I have more time.
Ah, the famous "when I have more time."
And more time never came. When I finally called her, she didn't sound angry. She just said, I thought you forgot me.
Oh, that's hard to hear.
It really was, because she wasn't asking for much. She just needed to feel that she was still in my mind. So I told her, I didn't forget you. I'm sorry I took so long.
That sounds simple, but those words take something.
They do, and sometimes that's all family needs. Not a big explanation, just to feel remembered.
I think about the way my mother communicates sometimes. She'll call, and the first thing she says is, "Did you eat?"
The most famous family question.
She's not really asking about food. She's saying, "I'm thinking about you. I want you to be okay."
Or call me when you reach, which means I'll be worrying until I hear from you.
Family love hides inside ordinary words.
It does. And when you start hearing it that way, it changes how you receive it.
It does. Are you close to your family, Anna?
I am. But my relationship with them has changed as I've gotten older. When I was young, family was almost everything. They were the whole world I knew. They raised me, guided me, corrected me when I went wrong. All of that became part of who I am. My upbringing shaped me in ways I'm still discovering.
I feel that. My upbringing gave me a strong sense of respect for older people, for guests, for even small things like not wasting food. Those lessons became part of me so quietly I didn't notice until I was grown.
And then you grow up and you start making your own choices, your own path. And sometimes your family doesn't fully understand those choices.
Not because they don't love you.
No, sometimes they're just seeing life from a very different place, a different time, a different set of experiences.
That's the generational gap. My parents grew up believing that safety was everything. A stable job, a clear plan, no unnecessary risks. And that comes from real experience. They lived through things that taught them to hold on tight.
And their worry about you comes from exactly that place.
I know, but knowing it doesn't always make it feel lighter. Sometimes care and pressure can look very similar.
Yes, and I think many people carry that quietly. You love your family, you're grateful for everything they've given you, and still some things feel heavy.
The obligations, too. Calling, visiting, being available, explaining your life to people who love you but don't always understand your choices.
And when you can't meet those obligations, when life is too full or you're too tired, there's the guilt, even when you're trying your best.
Exactly. Something can feel like both a gift and a weight at the same time.
I think a lot of people need to hear that it's okay to feel both. You can love your family deeply and still need space to breathe. Those two things aren't in conflict.
I needed to hear that today, actually.
I think I did too.
Can I ask you something a little more personal?
Of course.
Have you ever had a real falling out with someone in your family? Not just a small disagreement, but something that left a real silence between you.
Yes. My brother and I once went almost 4 months without speaking properly. We had an argument. I don't even remember now exactly what started it, but we both went quiet after it. And the longer the silence lasted, the harder it became to break. Silence has a weight.
It does. It starts as a pause and slowly becomes a wall.
That's exactly what happened. And I kept thinking he should call first. And I'm sure he was thinking the same thing about me.
Who called?
I did, eventually. I just decided I didn't want that wall to get any taller. I called him and said I don't want to leave things like this between us. I didn't try to go back over who was right. I just said that.
That's the hardest part, not needing to win first.
And that's really what making amends means. Not that you were entirely wrong, just that their relationship means more to you than the argument does.
Did it help?
Not immediately. We didn't suddenly become perfect after one phone call, but something shifted. The wall got smaller, and small was enough to start.
I had something similar with my brother last year. We argued, something small that somehow got bigger than it should have, and then we both went quiet. After a few days, calling him felt strange, like too much time had passed.
But you called?
I did. I said I didn't like how we ended that conversation. That was all.
And?
And he said, me neither. And that was the beginning.
Sometimes those are the bravest conversations. The short ones.
Because you're going in without knowing how the other person will respond.
Yes, you just decide the relationship matters more than your fear does, and you call.
Family is strange. We don't choose where we come from, but many of us keep choosing the people we love again and again, even through the hard parts.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
They're your old stories, the people who remember who you were before you became who you are. There's a sense of belonging in that, a feeling that you have a place, and that place has always been yours.
And that feeling is rare. It's hard to find anywhere else.
But then there are also the questions about your life decisions, the pressure, the generational gap in how you see things.
And the obligations that pile up sometimes.
And the guilt when you don't meet them.
Family is many things at once, and talking about it in English should reflect that. Not just, I have one brother, or I live with my parents.
We can say, my upbringing shaped the person I am.
Or, my family gives me a real sense of belonging.
Or, there is a generational gap between my parents and me.
Or, family obligations can feel heavy, even when they come from love.
Or, after an argument, I try to make amends rather than hold on to the silence.
Now that's the kind of English that helps us sound more human.
I think so too. Let's take those words into word tour.
Yes, let's begin with upbringing.
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 Upbringing. Upbringing.
Upbringing means the way you were raised as a child.
Earlier, you said our family teaches us, protects us, and corrects us when we are young.
And you said your upbringing taught you respect.
You could say, my upbringing taught me to respect older people.
Or maybe your family taught you to work hard, speak politely, or help others.
Then you could say, my upbringing shaped the person I am today.
And if your family taught you to make your own choices, you can say, my upbringing made me more independent.
Nice. Our next word is belonging.
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 Belonging. Belonging.
Belonging is the feeling that you are accepted somewhere. You feel that you have a place.
Earlier, we talked about going home and not having to explain yourself from the beginning.
Yes. When people know your old stories, your favorite food, and your small habits, that can give you a sense of belonging.
You could say, my family gives me a sense of belonging.
Or maybe you live far away from home and you miss that feeling.
Then you could say, I miss the feeling of belonging I have with my family.
And if you were talking about close relationships, you can say, belonging is one of the most beautiful parts of family.
That's a warm sentence. Our next phrase is generational gap.
Generational gap.
Generational gap.
Generational gap. Generational gap.
A generational gap is the difference between how older and younger people think or see life.
Earlier, I said my parents worry about safe jobs, safe choices, and safe plans.
Yes, that can happen because of a generational gap.
You could say, sometimes my parents and I see things differently because of the generational gap.
Or maybe your family has different ideas about work, marriage, money, or lifestyle.
Then you could say, the generational gap can create small misunderstandings in my family.
And if you want to sound calm and mature, you can say, I try to understand the generational gap instead of arguing immediately.
That is a very useful sentence. Our next word is obligation.
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 Obligation. Obligation.
An obligation is something you feel you must do because of duty, responsibility, or expectation.
Maybe you love your family, but you also feel you must call, visit, help, or answer every message.
You could say family obligations can feel heavy sometimes.
Or maybe you're busy, but you still want to be there for your family.
Then you could say, I have family obligations, but I also need time for myself.
And if you want to sound honest, you can say, I love my family, but some obligations make me feel tired.
That sentence feels very real.
Our last phrase is make amends.
Make amends.
Make amends.
Make amends. Make amends.
To make amends means to fix things after a problem, an argument, or a hurt feeling.
Earlier, I talked about calling my brother after an argument.
Yes, you didn't want a small argument to become a big wall.
So I could say, I called my brother to make amends.
Or maybe you said something too quickly to someone in your family.
Then you could say, I want to make amends after our argument.
And if you want to sound mature, you can say, in family, it is more important to make amends than to win every argument.
Beautiful. So today we had upbringing, belonging, generational gap, obligation, and make amends.
5 words that can help us talk about family with more feeling.
And you know, this is the moment where many learners understand the words, but later, when they need to speak, the words disappear.
Yes, that's why practice after the episode matters so much. If you meet these words again in the transcript, try them in quizzes, play with them in games, and repeat them in shadowing practice. They start becoming part of your real English.
That's exactly why we created English Leap Club, to help you continue after the video while the words are still fresh in your mind.
Inside, you'll find the transcript, quizzes, games, shadowing practice, and calm support to help you keep going.
So if today's words felt useful, don't let them disappear. Visit the link below after the episode and practice them again.
Just a little more practice can make these words easier to remember, easier to say, and easier to use in real life. Speak with Anna.
And now, before you go anywhere, let's use your English right here.
Yes, this is the part I look forward to most, because now the episode becomes something you actually do.
It's time for Speak with Anna.
Yes, but before we begin, remember this. When your line appears on the screen, don't just read it quietly in your mind. Say it out loud. Use your real voice. Speak slowly, clearly, and with feeling, like you're really talking with me.
We'll leave a pause after each line. That pause is yours.
Okay, let's talk. So, when you think about your family, what feeling comes first? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's warm, but it's not always simple. Sometimes one small thing happens and suddenly you're thinking about everything, both at the same time. Same. I think a lot of us carry that. We care, but life moves, and then you realize, oh, it's been weeks. Yeah, I do. I try not to be too hard on myself, but yeah. When someone says, I thought you forgot me, that stays with you. It makes you realize even a short call means more than you think. Maybe you should. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even 2 minutes is kind of saying, I remember you. Can I ask you something else? Do you think your upbringing changed how you see family? Respect and care. In a lot of families, those are kind of the same thing, aren't they? Like, care shows up as respect, and sometimes that's how people say love. They just never use that word. Mm, I think to notice people. If someone went quiet, I'd feel it. If something was off, I'd pick it up, which helps me, but also means I overthink a lot. That definitely came from home. Yeah, quietly. Not always with words. Sometimes it's just watching how people speak to each other, how they help, how they say sorry or don't. Do you ever feel a generational gap in your family? I think about that with my parents sometimes. They wanted safety because life taught them to want that, and I wanted something different. Neither of us was wrong. We were just coming from different times, I think. It changes something when you do that. Their worry starts to make sense, even when it still feels like a lot. You don't have to agree with everything, but you get where it's coming from. They can, yeah. The calling, the visiting, being available, it all comes from love, but that doesn't mean it's never a lot. And that's okay. Needing space doesn't mean you love them less. It just means you're human. You need something left for yourself, too. I wait, usually, until I'm not in it anymore. If I speak too fast, I say the wrong thing. And then once I've settled, I try something small. Just, I don't want us to stay like this. That's usually enough to open it back up. And making amends doesn't need a whole speech. Sometimes it's just one message, something honest and small. That can be enough. Do it. I was thinking about you. That's simple, but it carries a lot. It did for me too. And whoever you're thinking of right now, I hope they hear from you today.
Ah, that was really nice.
It was. And learners, tell us in the comments, did this Speak with Anna section help you practice speaking?
Did saying the lines out loud feel different from just listening?
And should we continue this segment in future episodes? Tell us in the comments. Your voice helps us shape the show.
It really does.
Remember, English grows when you use it, even in one small sentence.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart. This is Anna.
And this is Jake.
And you have been